Hello and welcome back to On the Couch with a brand new youth-led podcast brought to you by the Youth Recovery and Wellbeing College, which sits within the Children's Division of Humber NHS Foundation Trust. My name is Mez and today we're at Elliot Chapel on one of my favourite streets in Hull, Hesel Road, and we're here to talk with the super cool, extremely proactive young person, Poppy, and I'm also joined by my lovely colleague, Flick.
Hello!
So today's episode, I hear you say, well, it's all about neurodiversity, but before we delve into it, I'll stop nattering on and pass you over to Poppy. Poppy, lovely to meet you. Can you tell the listeners a bit about yourself and where you are from?
I'm from Bridlington, East Riding. I am 16 years old and a college student. I am a member of the Humber Youth Action Group and I'm also one of the deputy members of Youth Parliament for East Riding, as well as quite a lot of other roles within the youth voice sector.
Cool. I mean, that is a lot of stuff that you're involved with, so it's great that you're on the show. I also want to know then, what was the last thing you watched on TV?
It was Law and Order SVU last night.
Alright, and for all the pizza fans out there, what would your favourite toppings be?
Pineapple.
Oof, controversial.
Yeah.
Absolutely controversial, because I hate pineapple on a pizza, but there we go.
No.
Although I think I've just seen you eat some pineapple.
Yeah.
Well, there we go, at least you're true to your word. Alright, so now I'm going to pass you over to Flick, who's my lovely colleague. Flick, can you also tell me a bit about yourself and where you're from?
Hello, my name's Flick. I'm from the East Riding in a little village. And I'm the engagement assistant for children's services at Humber. So I help support our children's services to engage the voice of children and young people, and I also support young people through our Humber Youth Action Group.
Alright, and can you then tell me what was the last thing you watched?
Do you know what? I watched Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Okay, and for the pizza fans, I want to know your toppings.
So, do you know what? I'm basic. I like lots of vegetables.
Oh, she loves lots of vegetables.
Sweet corn.
Sweet corn, that's not a vegetable. Of course, sweet corn is a vegetable. I was just confused because I did not expect Flick to say, when she said vegetable pizza, sweet corn would be the number one topping, but there we go. Anyway, I'm digressing. So, Poppy, just to set the scene, and I know that you mentioned it briefly, but you're an active member of many young person voice and influence groups. Can you tell me a bit about this passion of yours and what groups you're in?
For the groups I'm in, I'm a deputy member of Youth Parliament representing East Riding. I'm a regional youth board member representing East Riding again. I'm a young councillor for East Riding. I am a member of the Youth Endowment Fund. I am a young advisor for them. I'm also a member of the Yorkshire and Humber Send Alliance, the Humber Youth Action Group, and the Nothing About Us Without Us member, and also the Independent Office of Police Conduct Youth Panel member.
I mean, that is a lot of groups. It's so cool that you have devoted so much time to that. How would other young people get involved in some of these, or how did it sort of like come to your attention to be in these kind of groups, or what maybe attracted you to them?
Originally, it came to... I sort of noticed it originally because I was elected as Deputy Member of Youth Parliament in the Youth Parliament elections back in March. However, my advice would be to join your local youth council, and a lot of opportunities spring from there really. I send a lot of emails out to the youth council members with lists of all the youth panels, groups for our... Also, if you're wanting to get involved in the East Riding, we have the Humber NHS Youth Instagram page and also the East Riding Youth, where all the opportunities are advertised, as well as the volunteering website.
Amazing, cool. All right, so the next bit of this podcast is we're going to delve into something that's very close to your heart in terms of neurodiversity. So that is what's coming next, folks. Right, today we're here to talk about Poppy and her experience of neurodiversity. Can you give us a brief background to why this subject is so close to your heart?
I'd say it's so close to my heart because I myself am neurodiverse. I have Asperger's syndrome and ADHD. Asperger's syndrome is a type of autism. I actually don't think we diagnose young people with it anymore. I think we just say ASD, autism spectrum, but when I was diagnosed it was Asperger's.
Okay. All right, and can you tell me how you were diagnosed?
It was back when I was in primary school. It was picked up by the staff at the primary school, and I had a couple of visits from our local educational psychologist, and I went through the testing for autism and ADHD at my local CAMS building.
Okay.
I did the tests for that. I think there was quite a few tests actually. Some was talking, some was watching how I interacted with other children, etc.
And what was your experience of school like being neurodiverse?
Wasn't very good. I was first excluded from my primary school. I think it was just as I was beginning year 6, and I was sent to an alternative provision SEN school in Hull. I attended that school for, I think it was about 4 years, because it was a primary and secondary school merged.
Okay.
However, that did close down after about 5 years of me being there. I tried another alternative provision, which was actually up at Scarborough, due to there being not many SEN schools within the East Riding, and I left that due to I wasn't fitting in properly. I'd attended an alternative provision, which, let's just say, it wasn't the best. It was closed by Ofsted, but it was very different. So merging into a school, and the SEN school which I attended after, it had more of a mainstream passion to it. It was more of a, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. Whereas at the other school, it's more relaxed, nurturing environment. So I ended up leaving there. I got a one-to-one tutor, and I had just finished my GCSEs.
I mean, the fact that you just smashed your GCSEs is a testament to the kind of character that you are. I mean, it sounds like there was a lot of movement involved. So from Brid to Hull, back out to Scarborough, and did you find that quite sort of, I don't know, destabilising in any way?
Yes, I struggled with that quite a lot due to all my friends that I made was either in Hull or North Yorkshire, and I went off track quite a bit. I used to go missing. I was a missing person. I used to go missing because I used to want to run off to see these friends. I wanted to spend time with my friends.
Yeah.
But I was young, and my mum didn't feel comfortable with me just hopping on a train to go see so and so.
Mm-hmm.
So that caused quite a problem in that aspect, especially socially.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's only natural that you want to be close to those that you've already made connections with. So if you're moving around a lot, it was hard for you to build other connections. So again, it's only testament to the character that you are. So what would your advice be for other young people who are trying to access help and support?
That's a good question actually.
Or if you want, I can go to this one. So what support did you or what support, I guess, did you access whilst you were at these schools? Was there different support available to you?
Yeah, there was different support available. Whilst I was in the mainstream, although it was only primary, there was the educational psychologist, there was the ELSA support workers, I think that's emotional learning support.
Yeah.
So I accessed that, and then when I went to the SEN schools, it was very different. It was more relaxed. We did a lot of enrichment trips. We went to, it sounds a bit funny looking back now, but we used to go to Big Fun on a Friday afternoon play area in Hull, and it was very laid back. It was very nurturing, and we did horse riding, and it was that better environment.
Yeah, I mean, my background is a youth worker, and like we always used to take young people off-site and do different things, because I think it helps sort of establish other sort of connections and makes you feel at ease. So it doesn't sound funny to me. I think it makes perfect sense. So how do young people feel less alone, do you think, with regards to this subject?
It's difficult. I always felt quite alone, and I don't mind saying at all. I was excluded in my local area. I'm 16 years old and I'm still excluded now. I am moving to college, so I'll be out the area, but I've always been excluded. I've been known as being that different. You know what I mean? The girl who's different, the girl who's, let's just say, weird, is how they used to word it. But when it comes to feeling less alone, I would suggest joining the groups, getting out there, especially if you're in SEN schools, interacting with the other young people. I know if you're from the Hull and East Riding, there's an amazing organisation called Matthews Hub. I only actually got in contact with them a couple of years ago, as I never realised, but they do support groups, workshops, youth clubs, meet other young people with SEN. So my advice would be to feel less alone, is to get involved with something like that, especially Matthews Hub, as they do support you through adulthood as well as childhood.
Amazing, yeah, and I mean, I've worked with Matthew's Hub as well through the Youth Recovery and Wellbeing College, and can back you up that they do some great work across the region, especially in the city of Hull itself. All right, well, we'll just take a little break there, have a look at some of the questions we've asked, and then we're going to come back and ask a couple more. Poppy, I think it's so awesome to hear your journey, and your resilience is so inspiring. So talking about what is next then, you've just smashed your GCSEs and you are now off into further education at Bishop Burton College. Can you tell us a little bit about this, please?
So I'm going to Bishop Burton College and I'm going to be living in. I've decided to move into student accommodation.
Amazing.
So I move into there on the 1st of September, Sunday the 1st I move in, and then I'll have a better idea of sort of like when I start classes and whatnot, because I've got an induction day in a couple of weeks. So I'll have a wider idea then. I'm going to be studying level 3 and I come at level 3 policing diploma. So I'll come out of it with, I think it's equivalent to about 2 A levels.
Amazing. And how come that's the course that you chose? Is that something you've always been interested in?
Yeah, because when I leave college, I want to work in the youth justice sector with young people. Sort of voice and influence, but in the youth justice service.
I mean, that makes perfect sense, especially with everything that you're involved with, and I think you would just be so good at that role. So I wish you all the best for starting, and it's exciting. So September, that's not even that long. So are you all packed up? Or?
Yeah, well, nah.
No. Still got time. We've still got about 2 weeks or so. All right. Well, this does bring us to the end of the podcast. So I just want to say thank you for coming on, Poppy. And because we are closing up to the weekend, I just want to know, and I'm going to bring Flick back in here, what's everyone got planned or on the horizon for this weekend?
Well, I'm going out on Sunday.
Okay, cool. And yourself?
This weekend I'm doing absolutely nothing.
Which sounds perfect.
Yeah.
However, next weekend I am going to Girl Pride with Flick to represent the Humber Youth Action Group.
Go Pride.
Amazing. And I go on holiday this week with my little boy and partner, so I'm looking forward to that. So with all that said, thank you again, Poppy, for coming on this podcast. It's been amazing to hear. Like I say, everything you've said today has been really inspiring. And so on that note, we're just going to say goodbye. So, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
On the couch with